Hello everybody, JD here, and welcome to the first of many Moneymaker Mondays. And for me, this has been something that I've been thinking about for quite a long time. I want to tell you a little bit about maybe the purpose of why I'm doing it, and then also about today's specific topic, which is about getting rejection out of the way, how not to make sales calls, and how to eventually make sales calls, effective sales calls that are the doorway to your wealth, to a new lifestyle for you, for your family, for those that you love and care about, to transform your life. So before we get into today's topic, the inspiration today in general was I wanted to do this Moneymaker Monday because I think that each and every one of us in our own way has a gift. You have a gift. There's something that you do phenomenally that other people probably seek out your attention on. And there's a famous quote by Pablo Picasso that's always resonated with me. It's the meaning of life is to find your gifts, but the purpose of life is to give them away. So I believe that each and every one of us has a gift. Each and every one of us has something that is special about them that the world gets to know about. But the thing is that the gift that was bestowed upon you, anointed upon you, is not your gift. It's the gift of humanity. It's those that win when you're able to give your gift away. So in that regard, I encourage each and every one of you to find out what your gifts are, and if you know what they are, how can you help cultivate somebody that's not ahead of you, that's not where you want to be, and help guide them to shorten their learning curve so that they could be further along because of your existence. So with that, welcome to the first Moneymaker Monday. And, I've been blessed to grow up in a family where business was talked about at the kitchen table, business was talked about in the living room, in the bathroom, and we literally had to make like a rule in the house to not talk about business, about sales, accounts receivable, accounts payable, just so that we could have like a normal existence. But to me, normal was part of business because it was something that was just always around us. My mother and father were small business owners. My family back in India were all also entrepreneurs in the construction business. So my background since a little kid was really just that, being in sales. And not just being in sales, but being in business in general, like being a business owner. So for me, today I was thinking about what topic to start out with. And I'm going to be honest with you, at first I was thinking about starting with something soft, something light, like what is your vision for your life? What is your vision for your business? What is your message? I was thinking about that, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm actually going to pick a harder topic. I'm going to pick a topic that I think that many people struggle with. Many people struggle with this, and I struggled with this in my life as well, but I was able to overcome it. And I see all the benefits that this particular overcoming has been able to do, and that is in the realm of making sales calls, making effective sales calls. I think that people have told me time and time again, JD, I'm struggling with my business. And my first question to them is, well, how many sales calls have you made? How many times have you requested somebody taking your product or service? And inevitably, you'll hear that person say, oh, I haven't made a sales call, or I haven't tried to reach out to somebody to tell them about my product or service. And then, they wonder why they're not moving along. And I think that if we could be honest with ourselves, it's never about whether our product is viable, whether our service is something that humanity needs. If we can be honest with ourselves, when we don't make sales calls, it's because we think that there's something wrong with us. We question whether we're viable. Are we worthy of being somebody that could be a solution to somebody's problem? Okay, so I know that on each and everybody on some level can relate to what I'm saying right now. So this was something that I said, you know what, if people could just have breakthroughs in how to have a sales call and how to make an effective sales call, it's going to transform their life like it did mine. And just to tell you a little bit about my background, I came from a very humble background, middle-class family. And one of the things that I recognized about my dad's business, my dad had a plumbing business, and one of the things I was able to see, hey, what's up, Kenny? Kenny definitely struggled with this topic. So do we all. Welcome to, just makes you a human being to say that you struggle in this particular area of making sales requests. So one of the things that I recognized about my father's business, I'm going back to like 1996, is he had the products in his plumbing business. He had the warehousing, he had the engineering component, he had all these little parts in place. But the one thing that he wasn't effectively doing is he wasn't picking up the phone and calling people. And I want you to know something. This is something, and I hope you all take notes on this Facebook Live. And if you listen to it again, please take out a pen and pad and take some notes. One of the things that I want everybody to realize is that nothing happens before a sale is created. I'm going to repeat that. Nothing happens before a sale is created. There is no engineering. There's no cutting edge technology. There's no innovation. People always think that there's like something created and then it's sold, and then that's the cycle that it works on. But if you look at the great innovators, if you look at like Steve Jobs, for example, people say Steve Jobs was like this great innovator, this great visionary, which he was. It's undoubtable. But let's not get it twisted. Steve Jobs was a great salesman. He understood that there was a population that would benefit from there was a demand for something that people didn't even know that they wanted or knew that existed. And he said to himself, how can I create a solution? How can I be the solution, or my product be the solution to humanity's demand, the demand that they don't even know about? And that's what sales essentially is being the solution. Whether it's your product or your service, you are creating a win-win scenario. Win-win in a sense that you win when they get the product or the service from you that's going to benefit them, and you get the money that product or service is worth. That creates a transaction, but that is essentially a win-win scenario. You're winning and making a living for your family and all the people that work for you, and they're winning because of the benefit of this product. So I want you to remember that nothing happens before a sale is created. Remember that in your small business or wherever you are in your business, nothing happens before a sale is created. So I want to talk about the worst type of sales call. Okay, and this is going to sound like common sense to some of you, but as we all know, common sense isn't common. If common sense was common, we'd all have six-pack abs. We all know how to get them, right? Eat vegetables, work out, drink water, right? But we don't. So common sense isn't common. Let's just address that. So the worst sales call is the call that you don't make. I'm going to repeat myself. The worst sales call is the call you don't make. We miss 100% of the opportunities we don't take. And for most of us, it's a sabotage. It's about getting out of our own way, getting to a place where we can get out of our own way and not worry about what will they think, how will I be judged, how will this land with this person, what will they think of me afterwards. This is one of the things that matters the most, is being able to get out of your own way and not worry, not be attached to the result of what's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you that there's a lot of people out there, business owners, that because of this self-sabotage, they've said to themselves, well, I'm not going to not sell my product or service. I will do it, but I am not going to do it. And what they end up doing is they try to outsource the sales. Okay, how many of you know what I'm talking about? I know that a lot of you can relate to me that thought that, oh, well, I'm good behind the laptop. I'm just going to create products and then have somebody else sell my product. And that to me has always sounded like crazy talk. And I'm a big proponent of outsourcing sales. You can definitely outsource your sales. But here's the but. There has to be some control that you have as a business owner over your baby. You get to fight harder for your baby than anybody else that out there in the world is. And you know, I think if you believe in energies, if you believe in the universe and reciprocity and all that stuff, I think that there's something to be said when you're willing to go out there and pick up a phone that might feel like it weighs 800 pounds because you're so scared to make that sales call, but you do it anyway. You work through your fear and you're willing to make that sales call anyway. That there's something that the universe will provide you, that the universe will conspire in your favor because you were courageous enough to fight for what mattered to you. No one is going to sell your product better than you. Not in the beginning anyway. I think that the passion gets to come through, and all of the things that you envision, the benefits that you envision for the person gets to come through you. And then of course, once you've seen what works and what doesn't work, you can certainly outsource it. But I want you to remember one thing, and this is something that even with me, I mean, I have never stopped making sales calls. I have 3 sales calls right after this Facebook Live. So it's something that's real for me. I really do these sales calls. And believe me when I tell you, it has transformed my life. It has transformed my family's life. It has transformed the lives of my children. I have created businesses off of this that I probably never deserved to have, other than the fact that I was courageous enough to make a sale. So definitely the worst sales call is the one that you don't make. You got to get up. You got to just do it. All right. And that might be the most important part of this Facebook Live. I'm going to go step by step. We're going to talk about different techniques. But I'm telling you, just do whatever you do, get on the phone and risk your brilliance. Go out there and just do it. So I'll tell you, first and foremost, the calls that I'm most afraid of, and I think that a lot of people can relate to these calls, for me, is the calls with people that I know, like my loved ones, the people that are closest to me, the people who have maybe seen me in my life, my personal life, mess up, whether it was a night in my young 20s where I did something crazy and they know about it, or maybe they were with me. And those are always like the tricky calls, because in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, like, how am I worthy of making the sales call to this person? Or maybe it's my older sister who has taught me like half of the things that I've ever learned in my life. And now I'm here trying to pitch her on a product. So, you know, for me, like, that's a very interesting call that I say, the best way to get through this with your loved ones is to address the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Just address it. So basically what you're looking to do with your loved ones is, when you're getting on a sales call with somebody that is like your uncle or somebody that you know, you're looking to clean up whatever is there in the space. If there's something that needs to be cleaned up, like, hey, listen, I know I haven't been a good friend to you. I know that I haven't been consistent. I know that I haven't been, whatever the case may be, or whatever it is, you get to clean that up. And basically what you're looking to do is shift the context. So, you know, talking about like what is the new epiphany in your life, what you found out, what is the thing that you can count on me for. And basically what you're doing is you're training people to listen to you differently. You're shifting the context of who you were to who you are today, acknowledging that you were that, and letting them know that this is what I am today. This is what I believe in today. This is what I stand for today. And that's why I'm calling you. So that's a call that that's an intro in how to get through the calls that you have with people that are the closest to you, that you think have the most judgment on you because they have the most dirt on you, the most history with you. All right. Now I want to shift to another type of call, which is warm calls. What is a warm call? A warm call is a call that you make to somebody that you may not necessarily know, or maybe you don't know them that well, but maybe that person is somebody that's connected to you through somebody else, right? So an example of that might be something like, hey, Mike, how you doing? You don't actually know me, but we know somebody in common. My friend Susan, we were in a conversation, we were talking about weight loss, and Susan told me about you, Mike, and she told me that you'd be a great person to talk to. And that would be an intro to somebody that I don't know. So basically what you're trying to do is establish some level of rapport with a complete stranger. And in your rapport, you're also stating the purpose of your call so that they understand that there's a purpose to the call. Now, I'm speaking in general. I'm not speaking specifically, because one of the things I want to do on the call is I don't want to be too specific, because I don't want them to think, oh, I already know what that is. I already know what they're going to talk about. No, I'm good with that. Thank you very much. I want to leave some mystery to the intro. I want to establish the benefit of why it makes sense for them to listen. Because when I say establish the purpose, I'm not talking about your purpose. I'm talking about their purpose. Why do they have to listen to you? Why are they still listening to you? Why are they still giving you their attention on the call? So it is about addressing the benefit to them as to why they get to listen to you for even one extra minute. Okay? So we're establishing rapport. We're establishing the benefit without going into a lot of detail, right? And and this is a very fine line when it comes to establishing rapport. How can I say this? when you're establishing rapport with somebody, and you're only going to get to become a master at this by practicing it, but it's about feeling people out. So I think that as you get on the calls more and more, you will be able to hear the energy and feel the energy of the other person on the other side of the phone. So, for example, one of my icebreakers on a call to establish rapport might be like, this is the Thanksgiving holiday, so I have 3 sales calls right after this Facebook Live. So I might say, Mike, did you eat enough turkey this weekend? And I might feel him out to see if he responds to that. Like if he laughs and goes, oh my God, yeah, we went to my cousin's house and we had turkey, and then we went to so-and-so, we watched the football game. And get him talking, like maybe he's that type of person, and you can continue and establish that rapport. But then, on the other hand, if I say, hey, Mike, did you have enough turkey this weekend? And it's like silence on the other side, it might be time to get to the point, And that's something that you're only going to be able to really understand with practice in feeling the energy of the other person on the side of the call. So I won't say that there's an exact science to it, other than you using your intuition, your gut, which only comes from practicing. Remember, at the beginning of this Facebook Live, I said that the greatest thing to do on a sales call is to do it. Just do it. And you will get better as you go along just by having the intuition to feel people's energy and know exactly where to go next. So in terms of the call itself, the sales call itself, there's 2 places that I might want to take this call. One of the ways I might want to take the call is to establish like an in-person meeting. So it might be something like, Mike, I'd love to discuss with you in greater detail how we can, benefit you through this weight loss product, and then I might give him 2 choices. Now, why do I give him 2 choices? Instead of asking him when he's free, what I want to do is I want to control the call. So I want to say something to the effect of, what's the best time to pass by for us to meet up, 11 a.m. tomorrow, or I could also do Thursday after work at 6 p.m. The reason that I'm giving them 2 choices and not just saying, when are you free, is because I want him to pick one of those 2. I want him to either say 11 a.m. or after 6. He's going to choose. He's choosing based on the 2 choices that I gave him. And this is how I control the phone call. Now, obviously, if those 2 choices don't work, he'll tell you at that point that those 2 choices don't work. But inevitably, the next follow-up question is like, all right, well, what's a great time for you to meet? And maybe I can rearrange some things on my schedule so that I can make it work. So basically what I'm trying to do is get him to commit to a time and a place that we can meet and we can discuss business further. If you have the ability to discuss things in person, your batting average is always going to go up. Your in-face connection is always going to be more powerful than a sales call. So if you can have your sales call actually be an appointment generation leader, then that's a home run for you, because your batting average, your likeliness of closing this person, cultivating a great relationship, and maybe even establishing a potential affiliate, somebody that can share this great benefit that they're now having to their circle. So Mike could actually open the doorway to so many other people in Mike's life that now you just expanded your reach. So that's one way that you can take the conversation. The other place that you can take the conversation is if Mike is busy, and if you can kind of sense that he's busy, you might want to use the same approach and just say, I'd love to have a more detailed call with you. So when is a good time that you're free? And again, you give him the 2 choices. What would work better for you, 11 a.m. tomorrow or after work on Thursday after 6 p.m.? And you get him to nail down. Your goal in that call is to nail down a time for you to speak in detail, whether it's in person, which is preferable, or if that's not possible for you, then to do it over the phone. But when Mike has the time, he is now carving out time. He is assigning time with the understanding that there is going to be an opportunity to buy a product or service that's going to benefit his life. All right. Now, secondly, the other thing that you can do is, well, you have him on the call, so you could just have the call right there. So you might just be like, hey, listen, do you got 20 minutes right now that we can talk? Is that and you ask permission to have the call right there if it's possible for them. And if they tell you it's possible, then you go right into the sales call. And one of the ways that I like to go into a sales call is I want the client or the potential client, Mike, we'll call it Mike, to give me the clues. So rather than pushing why my weight loss product is the best, why my this is the best, instead of going in that route, I might say something like, so Mike, tell me, what are your goals in the realm of weight loss? Like, what are you looking to do? And he might tell me, well, I've struggled with weight. He's going to give you clues, is my point. Let the person on the other side of the phone give you clues, and those clues will tell you to where to take the call next. So if he's telling you that the challenge that he has is not having enough water and feeling dehydrated and tired, and not eating meals at the proper time, and as a result of that feeling fatigued, then you know exactly where to take the phone call. You can ask for deeper questions like, can you talk specifically, Mike, about like what specifically are you struggling with? Like, what is the struggle that like affects you the most? Like, what keeps you up at night? What do you think about? What do you worry about the most as it relates to fitness or whatever your product is? So he'll clue you in. Again, he's going to give you the answer. He's going to give you the pain point as to what exactly it is in his life as it relates to the realm of fitness. We're using fitness, this weight loss product, as an example. He's going to tell you what it is that matters the most to him. He might even clue you in on something that he wasn't planning on cluing you in before. Like, hey, I'm 51 years old and I have a 17-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I'm worried about them living without their dad. He might tell you something like that, and he might be willing to get vulnerable with you if you're able to really establish that rapport, establish that connection, because that's essentially what you're doing here on this call, is you're establishing a connection between you and the other person, and you are showing them not how interesting you are, but how interested you are. So it's about being interested. It's about genuinely caring about what exactly is happening to this person, and genuinely caring from a point of really like caring. So this is your job essentially, is to basically get the clues to now, this is the final step, or this is the second to final step, is you want to now take their pain point, whatever it is that's hurting them the most, and you want to now draw the line between that and your product, which now becomes the solution to that pain point. So if his problem is fatigue, if his problem is high blood pressure, now you're speaking into that pain point and saying, hey Mike, I know what you're going through. I can relate to it. I know how you feel. There's something that I call feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I felt the same way, and what I found out is feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I felt the same way, and what I found out is. So what you're doing is you're drawing the line between the pain point of the person and the solution of the product, which is your product or service. Let's call it the weight loss product. I know how you feel. I felt the same way when I was going through that in my personal life, or when my sister was going through that in her personal life. And what I found out is that the product that I'm about to tell you about is not only a solution for that, but is blah, 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 blah. And then you go into what it is, or that the benefits, the line items that are the benefits to this product. So you are drawing that line. And through that process, at the end of the call, obviously the intention is to get him excited, to get him engaging with you, have him ask questions. There might come a point in the sales call where you feel like you're talking too much, and you might go, hey, am I going too fast for you? Is there any questions that you have, Mike? Like, are you with me so far? So I might actually stop in my tracks to just see where he's at. Like, has he tuned me out? Is he engaged in the call? The best call is the call where he's asking you questions. The call where he's like, oh, okay, I get that. And then he's got a concern, a follow-up concern that he wants to bring up. So that's the intention, is to keep the caller on the other side engaging with you, connecting with you, and like I said, just having that rapport, that overall rapport, that trust that you're establishing with this person. And then ultimately it's to make the request. And it sounds silly to say this, but so many people are just afraid to make the request. And making the request becomes more about, I don't want to fail, or I don't want to go through rejection, than it is about helping this person. And I really want to draw this distinction, because we are here to be a solution to people. That's the purpose of business. We are here not to make money. Of course, we're going to make money, but we are here to make a difference first and foremost. If you look at it from that point of view, then take the pressure off yourself, because this is bigger than you. This is not about you. This is about you being the solution, you being the stand for humanity. So when you look at it that way, it takes a lot of the pressure off yourself. It takes a lot of the focus off yourself. And you can actually just be what you're supposed to be, which is being in service to this person, Mike, on the other side, this real human being on the other side of the line, whose life might be in your hands in that particular moment. You might have something powerful to offer him that's going to change his life forever. And he's going to thank you for it. And many, many people that benefit that may not ever get to know you are going to benefit from the fact that he lived a healthy, quality life because you were willing to pick up that phone. You had the courage to pick up the phone and call and make your request. So make the request. And, to finish the call, I say it's so important to leave with dignity. And you want to, when I say leave with dignity, you want to be able to make that person feel that, hey, listen, no matter if they bought the product from you, didn't buy the product from you, weren't interested, was interested, whatever it is, that you don't change. You're the same person regardless. You want to thank them for their time, thank them for the opportunity to discuss everything that they've allowed you to discuss, and also talk about future opportunities that, Mike, I would love, even if it's not this product, I would love to have the permission to be able to update you whenever I see fit, to reach out to you, to tell you about other things that are going on, other opportunities that might benefit you in the future. And take their permission to do that. To the extent that we can establish a relationship with another human being, it's such a powerful thing to be able to do, to be able to establish a relationship and possibly become friends. My best friends are in business with me, and it's because I had the courage to reach out to them and make offers, make requests. And of course, also, if it's possible, this person, Mike, might be a great affiliate for you. So definitely ask him, is there anybody else that you think would be great for this product? And he might even tell you that he's not interested, but maybe, all right, great, Mike, listen, I thank you for your time. Would you happen to know anybody that you think would be a match for this product that I'm sharing with you now? Like, is there anybody that you can think of in your life that would benefit from what we've been talking about? And, again, that's your goal, is to be the solution, to be in service to people. That's what a sales call is. That's what sales is. And that's really what business is. Business is about being a solution and seeing, how do you play a role? How do you play a role in humanity, in being that solution, being the light of the world, because you're the light of your world. And you get to do that. I will say this, that I don't sell anything that I don't believe in myself, because that's called lying. That's called being inauthentic. And that's something that I've never subscribed to or even ever told anybody else to subscribe to. Any of my clients, I would never, even if the business was lucrative, if you didn't believe in it, if you didn't believe in the product, I would tell you this. I would rather be in a bad business with good people than a good business with bad people. So see where that resonates with you, what I just said right there. But being in integrity, being honest, being authentic, being true to who you are, knowing that what you're pitching, what you're selling is coming from your heart. It's your genuine belief that this product is going to benefit this person. That is how you enter each call. That's how you exit each call. And last but not least, before I jump off, let go of all the attachments. I often say you got to be kind of a Buddhist to be making sales calls or to be doing anything in sales. You got to let go of all the attachments. I say a prayer before my calls. I'm Hindu by birth, from India, and the great deity Ganesh has a bowl of fruit in one of his hands. And I look at it like, when I'm praying to God, that the fruit is not in my hands. The fruit is in God's hands, and I believe in God. So for me, I think that having a spiritual base, having something to connect to, a higher power, knowing that there is angels that walk beside you, to the left of you, to the right of you, that are always going to look out for your best interests, even when you fail. That even the failure in your life, even the trials and tribulations in your life, are all being set up not to destroy you, but to prepare you, to develop you. And that's the opportunity that always exists. So that's my talk for today. Stay tuned. Every Monday, we're going to be doing a new topic. So I'm going to be on a regular basis coming on around this time. I'll make sure next time to give you all more time to jump on and be prepared. But every Monday, we're going to be talking about being the moneymaker inside. And each and every one of you has the ability to be the moneymaker inside. Each and every one of you, if you can connect to your heart, if you can connect to your passion, you have what it takes to be the solution for humanity. I love you, and as always, the greatest days of your life lay ahead. The greatest days of your life. I'll see you at the top. Take care.